It's funny, right? So the Monday's calls are generally pulled from real life, if you will. And uh where were we? We were doing something. I think we were in the car. And Chrissy sends me this video. She goes, "Look at this. This is such a great video." And like when I finally had an opportunity to stop and look, she she's like, "Isn't it cute?" And I'm like, "Huh, interesting." And then she's like, "You're going to use this on Monday, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Probably, probably." So I want to share with you this video, and then I want to have a conversation around it because I think it's applicable and important for us to have this convo. So let me grab this here real quick. Here we go. Let's go here. Can you guys see my little turtle video here?
We
If
can't.
I go big, does it fill the screen? Is it full screen now?
It is.
All right. I trust the sound's going to come through, but the sound's not that important, right? It says, me holding strong through all the things that life has been throwing my way. I don't think the music even matters, right? But like, all right. So watching this video, right? What do you see? This is not internal. It's participatory. The mute button's right on your left, bottom left, to unmute yourself. Thanks for playing. This isn't just a spectator sport today.
So obviously the turtle is going the opposite direction of the way the water's flowing, which makes it difficult. Um, and then yeah, I guess right there it looks like he kind of looks up almost to see like how far he's going and then, gets right back to it
Mhm.
or takes a break or whatever he's doing there.
So, would you say that this turtle is a hard worker?
Yeah,
Would you say this turtle is resilient?
I would say so because it doesn't look like I don't, is that a curb? I don't know if that's a sidewalk or a curb, but it doesn't look like very far over. It's going as fast. So it looks like
Okay.
move
All
over.
right. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You pointed something important out here. What would this turtle have to do in order to make their struggle a little less effortful?
Change direction a little bit.
In what way?
In what way? What do you mean?
Yeah.
To his right?
Like literally like this
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
The water is half a centimeter thick deep, and the water here is coming in at full blast. And the turtle is what? The turtle's like, I got this. Head down, blasting through, making progress, but like really struggling, etc. When so like Christy and I were sitting here, she goes, look at how like determined this turtle is. And I'm just looking here going, what a dumbass turtle. What an absolute dumbass, egotistical, hustle culture bullshit turtle. Sorry. This is right here. This is the byproduct of garbage hustle culture when no one is going, "Hey, hold on. Take 5 steps to your right. Take a second, and then everything else will be easier." Everything else will be, you'll be actually be able to get to where you're looking to go sooner with less effort. And yet, what is he? He's just committed. Head down in the, he even puts his head up to take a breath. He's like, I got this. I got this. Don't worry. I got this. Head down, just going forward in the rapids. When all it would take is someone to go, hey, like, just take 5 steps over and you'll be able to. So what's the turtle missing?
There's someone to tell them that if they just take 5 steps over, it'll be easier. Someone
Could,
with a different perspective.
that's as simple as like, does the turtle have a trusted advisor that it is looking from? And the thing is, from the turtle's perspective, it all looks like an ocean of raging water. How can you see otherwise when you remove yourself from the situation? How many times do we catch ourselves inside the situation, head down, going forward, and you're looking around and you're like, there's no other way to do this. I just have to grind harder. I got to work more. I got to do X more, 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 more. And you're like, I'm only moving forward an inch and an inch. And you're like, I just keep doing it because I can't, what? I can't slow down. God forbid I take a sideways step for a minute or whatever. I, right? And so, in order to actually do more with less energy, faster, sometimes we have to take a step to the side. Sometimes we've got to slow down to go fast. Sometimes we need to go, I guess I can't just pound the phones relentlessly to hit my goals when at the end of the day, you've got no other system behind it. There's no follow up or follow through. You have no net. You're just casting lines. And if you just work harder, what's at stake on the other side of it? Burnout. What else?
Your health.
Yeah, yeah, right. Your health, your relationship. I see this so often in so many different ways. And I have to catch myself as well, especially when I'm like, okay, like, because when you look at the video, you can apply all of these great characteristics and these things that we like honor, like grit. That word's used a lot these days is something really powerful, and and having grit is an amazing thing, and perseverance and get to itiveness, if that's a thing, right? Get to itiveness. Today it is, right? When I look there, I'm like, man, that's so dumb. Just take a step to the side. Take a second, right? It's just so many times we're not willing to take the week, the 5 days, the 6 days, the whatever it is to slow down, put the pieces together for you to be able to actually go further, faster, with less effort. Because I'm just so used to just putting my head down and gritting and grinding. I catch myself doing the same thing, guys. I'm not. Please don't hear this as preaching. This is a internal conversation here, right? Hard work gets you so far, but it's also the one thing holding you back from the life that you deserve, right? If the only thing you have is hustle, rest feels like sabotage. I'd love to hear your take or your thoughts on this video, right? There's examples of this everywhere if you look for it. And I just was like, when I saw the video and I was like, yeah, I'm going to use it on Monday, but it's not for what you think. Dumbass turtle.
I feel like I might be the dumbass turtle right now. I like,
Sometimes, sometimes we
yeah,
have to it's look, even the most beautiful dances are cha-chas, like have like one step forward, two steps back. Like it's
yeah. But I think there's just something to be said about just taking the time away. This is where it's important to take a step back and breathe and be okay having a little fun in life. Because a lot of times when you return to something after you've had some time away from it, you can see it differently. You can
yeah.
see a different perspective. So, yeah.
And so here's the thing that what a lot of people don't always know. Sometimes head down in the rapids is just doing what you like versus 5 steps over. If you just did what it took outside of your comfort zone, you would hit your goal so much faster.
Mhm.
In the rapids, it's like, well, I don't like cold calling, I don't like door knocking, and I don't want to do this. So I'd rather have somebody pay for leads and I'll just call those. And so that is often that could be the same thing. Or I don't want to bother my database. I don't have anything to offer, so I'm not going to call them. Maybe I'll just send a text. I'll just text today. You know what? I'm going to text, and then maybe I'll even go on social. I'm going to click like on some stuff, and then they'll see me more often, and then maybe they'll call me if they need me. That's good. I think I'll just do that today. I was busy today. What did you do? I clicked like on a lot of things. I was engaging on social media today. I sent some texts. Yeah.
Or maybe it's you're trying to do everything on your own and not leverage other people like transaction coordinators, like people
Yeah.
that can help
It's
with
easier for
marketing.
me to do it myself. I don't have
Yep.
to tell anybody. I don't have to fix it. It's easier for me to just do it myself.
Yeah.
This turtle shows up everywhere.
I'm sure Ramil can feel us on this. Sometimes sometimes
Why are you picking on Ramil?
well, I'm just thinking of this like from a perspective of like where I'm at too with you get staff to help you do things, but then you have to like almost put your head down and drown for a little bit to have them pick up and be able to push you forward. So like that moment can truly be like sometimes you do have to be in that moment to be able to move forward. You've got to get a little overwhelmed to be underwhelmed later.
Mm. Where else do you see this? How does this show up for you in your world?
I really was just thinking basically what Michelle said. Like, you know, I just kind of doing everything on my own. I mean, like, even to the point of, I mean, I like going and dropping off lock boxes and things like that. That's like somebody else could totally go drop a lockbox off for me, drop off a sign instead of me spending or go pick up seller's disclosures from somebody who doesn't know how to scan things and stuff. And it's like, or doesn't have a way to scan it. It's like, man, I waste a lot of time running around doing all of that stuff for people. Like, not other people, like clients, instead of just finding somebody else to do it.
Well, and there's levels to this, right? Like when you're new and you don't have a ton of business, you have time. But as you're building a business, time becomes your most important commodity. So every minute you spend doing things that you could have somebody else do for much less than what you're making per hour, you're that's under leveraged,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I remember um like uh, when I was on a team, she was a luxury agent, and when we had come back from family reunion, she had been in some specific courses for luxury agents, and she was like telling all of us on the team like they were talking about like the average agent works 2,000 hours a year. If you take whatever you made that year and you divide it by 2,000, that's what you made an hour. If you're doing task that you can find somebody to do that's cheaper than what you're making an hour, then you should be leveraging like those things. It's
Yeah.
very, but also find it sometimes hard to find somebody who wants to do it. Like I'll ask them, I'm like, I'll give you $40 to go do XYZ, like, and it's not that much stuff, or $50. And it's like, they're like, no. I'm thinking, it'll take you 45 minutes to do it. I don't understand why they don't want to do it.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. There's definitely people out there like that.
I just got to find different people.
Yeah. So find the people that are doing Uber Eats. Find the people that have like a side gig like that that
Mhm.
don't have to click into an app for them to make this kind of same kind of like what you're talking about.
Mhm.
there's a huge group of people that would be willing to take your gig for 40 bucks for that hour all day.
It's hilarious you said that. I literally hired it. I called an Uber one time to literally go drop something off at a client's house
Mhm.
for me. I didn't
Yeah,
have
they
to.
have package delivery now.
Yeah.
You can use Uber to
I
drop off
didn't think it
documents.
had anybody's like personal information or anything on it, but
Mhm.
I literally like I was like, I have no other way to do this. I'm gonna get an Uber.
Yeah.
And the guy showed up and he goes, "You're not going with us?" And I said, "Nope, just need you to drop this off for me." I said, "Just send me a picture that you dropped it off and I'll give you a tip." So
Yeah. So,
apparently though, most of the time I like to just walk through the water in like the hardest way possible.
you know, I don't know if we but do you really like to, or do you
Oh,
feel, or do you feel like it's the only option you have?
sometimes I feel like it's the only option I have to get stuff done. The amount of people who don't want to work just blows my mind. Literally
Mhm.
blows my mind. I'm like, I want to make the world as best of a place as I possibly can. I want to make the real estate industry the best that I possibly can. I want to give the best service for people that I possibly can. And it blows my mind how many people don't give two craps.
But the people that don't want to work are also they find themselves as the turtle
Mhm.
because all they're gonna say is everything's too expensive. My job sucks. Like they're like, I feel like I'm the turtle going through the rapids. And you're like, yeah. And from your position and your perspective, you're like, hey, I was literally offering you something 5 steps over here for less money. And they're like, I don't want to do that. That sounds like work.
Well,
And you're
people
like,
pick their
cool.
heart. That's for sure. They
What's that?
definitely pick I said people
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
pick their heart. They definitely have to pick their heart. And it can be hard to not have any money and not have any work. And it can be hard to have so much on your plate. I'd rather have so much on my plate and have that hard.
But
How else do you guys see the turtle? Yeah, go ahead, Michelle. What were you
I was
going to
gonna
say?
say, can we also talk about this though? Sometimes it's not that they aren't doing the things that they need to do because they can't find people, can't find help. It's that scarcity mindset. I don't want to spend $300 to get a transaction coordinator because that's a lot of money and that's $300 I can keep. They can't see the grander picture too.
That is true. Mike, I mean, I'm sorry, and not, well, also a guy named Mike, but Matt got a hold of me about the transaction coordinator and
It wasn't to pick on you, sorry. Didn't mean to
no,
direct you.
I've had a transaction coordinator for about 20 or so months now, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, a little bit of leverage at a time. Scales,
Yeah.
right?
I would also say, um, looking at the turtle from just an outside perspective, it also shows a lot of, I think as agents or people in general, like we do a lot to try to have like this perception, of us, whatever, we're doing, we want a public perception. But even, I mean, just how we viewed the video, you know, your wife viewed the video one day or one way, you viewed the video a different way. Um, some people in your life are just gonna record you, while you're struggling to, do whatever. And, we've all seen the videos of the people that, will take even a turtle, right, in the street and move it, to wherever it's trying to go. Um, so yeah, it is very interesting, and I think it just goes to show that, no matter what you're doing or whatever, image you're trying to portray, whether it's you're a hard worker, you know, someone's gonna think you're stupid. You're a stupid turtle. And if you would have been on the other side, someone's gonna say, hey, he's being smart and going the smart way, and someone's gonna say, well, you're being lazy, and not working hard enough. So
Or stubborn, short-sighted, scarcity-minded, whatever
yeah,
it is, right? Look, there's all these judgments that you get from this video as opposed to like this videos could be an example of some times where I felt like I was going in the right direction, doing the right thing. When if I just would have taken a second and like sometimes it's like having the humility, having the patience, having the trust to like not bowl forward, but just take a second, look up and go, oh, if I just go over here for a second, make a lateral move, even if it's sometimes if it's one step back, if it helps you get 5 steps further quicker. Like I found myself, and especially through my career, like there's a season, there's a pattern, like every 18 to 24 months, I catch myself in these laterals, if you will, right? Which is like, oh, interesting. And then because then the part of me is like, well, what if I actually just stayed in this lane for a second? But then I go back to the turtle idea, and I'm like, okay, well, is that this? So a lot of questions can come up from this. What the goal for Monday's call, for today's call is, okay, where are the times where you feel like you're going in the right path in the direction, and you're faced with resistance, when instead of pushing against the resistance, there might be a way to take a step that from outside looking in could seem foolish, or I don't know. I don't know. Why don't people make those moves? Programming, resistance, what's comfortable. Sometimes it's easier to just keep going straight versus having to learn how to then be disciplined and consistent to your system that you got to create. All these things from a simple turtle video. And good point. Ramil brings up a good point. Be like, what about the jerk behind the camera? Why you got to film the turtle? Go help the turtle. That's another great point. I hope after that 5 second clip or 20-second clip, he's like, all right, turtle, I want to get you over there. Right. I trust that that's what happened actually. Right. So I guess the big question for today to take from the call, right, is what am I doing just simply out of habit? What am I celebrating as grit, grind, and hustle, which may actually be foolish because I'm ignoring either the leverage piece or the level up opportunity to be able to do it more efficiently that may just be 5 steps over here. And how is ignoring that serving you or not? And then the question is, who do you have in your world that can help point out where the water's shallower? Who are you trusting to be able to point those things out to you? And or are you putting yourself in rooms where people are talking about how they got out of the deep water?
That one's huge. Like, why do we always think we have to do it ourselves? Why are we not looking at the people that are ahead of us and saying, what was your blueprint to use so we can avoid the water altogether?
You know what? I reached out to somebody. There's a big event coming up October 1st in Omaha, and it's gonna have some incredible keynotes. And I shared it with somebody who's a really good producer. And he's like, I can't afford to take that day. Like, he's like, I'm way too busy. And I'm like, there's two guys that just brought their teams together that are gonna do over $1 billion in real estate this year. Do you think maybe they're gonna share a couple things that you should hear that could maybe change your business going forward? Like in $1 billion in real estate in one year, like like these two teams together, they merged it. Now they're arguably the number one team in the country in our organization, right? Um, hey, that's cool. Keep going up the rapids. Keep putting your head down. I'm offering you 5 steps over what it could be. You just got
For
to invest
free.
today.
For
Huh?
free.
For free. Well, no, it's not. But here's the thing. For someone who's really busy and producing, it's not free because what are they out of now?
Time.
Time. And so for someone who's making 400, $500,000 a year on their own, grinding and hustling, taking any time away from that in their mind costs them money.
For sure.
So they can't invest time in finding another way. They don't want to like slow down the like everything is a takeaway because if you only look at the micro, but if you zoom out far enough and take a look at the next 12 months as opposed to the next 7 days or the next 30 days or the next 45 days, because all they see is sales cycles. For someone who's just committed to the grind culture, all that they see is things in 45-day increments. So they can never zoom out far enough to see how investing in this time actually makes them more money by the end of the year. That's the challenge. And so even a free event that's being offered and led by some of the best business owners in the country is too expensive for them to take. That's the turtle. So my mission is to pull the car over and grab as many turtles as I can. That's it. Starting on this call.
Well, I recently was like telling my husband, it just dawned on me because like I have two sets of my parents got divorced when I was two. So I've got like two sets of parents. And like on one side, it is just very much like put your head down and work like all of the time. And my stepdad also is a very like very works a lot. My mom does a lot of things too, but it was literally just like I mean, if you stopped and you weren't doing something, it was like, I mean, there wasn't a place for like stopping and not working. Like you just kept on having to hustle like all the time. Like even when I was like all the way through high school and everything. And it's like, so now even it's like, I feel like I have to explain myself if I stop and I don't work.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's still like that. I'm 42 and it's still, I live like very close to those parents. And I'm like, and I still feel like I have to explain myself if I stop and I'm not working. Like, oh, I took the weekend off to go do this. And it's like, whoa, I don't want to, I've told my husband, I was like, I don't want my kids to think that's what you have to do all of the time. There's a good place for work, but like,
Sure. Yeah.
you, you also balance.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're right up against that time. I got a hard stop at 9:30. I got to jump on another call here. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for participating, considering, and here's to the turtles. Right, go save some turtles.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.